Here's the cycle most artists are stuck in. You set exciting goals for your art business, you commit to way too many projects, you get overwhelmed trying to keep track of everything, and you end up accomplishing maybe half of what you set out to do. Does that sound familiar? I spent 3 years experimenting with different systems on Notion, trying every complicated setup you could possibly imagine until I finally cracked the code with something that actually works. When you make money from your art, it is a business and it needs to be treated as a business. But for some reason, most artists resist planning. I spoke about this a lot more in this video where I discussed 6 big mistakes that artists tend to make. If any of this sounds like you, then you're probably in need of a more effective planning system. One is if you tend to miss deadlines or tend to overcommit to too much and end up rushing in the last minute. Or maybe you keep forgetting to post on social media despite having the intention to do so. It's possible that your projects are taking a lot longer than you originally anticipate, or maybe your income is inconsistent and you're not able to figure out a way to fix that. It's also possible that your artistic goals always take a back seat because you just need to figure out how to bring in revenue. I personally feel that creative minds need a slightly different approach to planning. Art is the foundation of everything that we do, and it's what requires most of our energy, both our physical energy but also our mental and emotional energy. So it's important for every other part of our business to be simple and effective so that it doesn't end up draining too much from us. Artists are often under the impression that planning kills their creativity, or that structure brings rigidity that doesn't work with their creativity. Or sometimes people think that complex systems bring better results, but honestly, that really doesn't have to be the case. I think artists tend to struggle with planning because it's tough to develop this business mindset when it comes to our art. Our art is our creativity, and many times I think that our artistic goals and our business goals are competing for our attention. A large part of that is because we struggle to differentiate between the two. And often we don't spend the time to sit down and think about our larger visions. And even if we do think about our larger visions, there's often a disconnect between the goals that we have for a year and the actual things that we end up doing on a daily basis. What we really need is some sort of clarity when it comes to our yearly goals. We also need to have a clear idea of our why and our vision so that everything comes back to that. We need all of our goals and tasks that we do on a daily basis to be aligned towards that larger vision. We need our artistic goals to collaborate beautifully with our business goals. The business goals are going to bring in revenue and help keep us going and help keep our art practice alive. But it's the artistic goals that help us actually make progress with our creativity. And that is what fuels us at the end of the day. We also need marketing plans that are doable and that work well with our energies. I've also noticed that a lot of artists have more introverted personalities. Of course, this isn't true of everyone, but it is true for me and a lot of other artists that I know. And somehow, marketing is an activity that ends up draining us a lot. Posting on social media just feels very overwhelming. And I think the thing that has helped me the most when it comes to all of that is having this structure, having a plan, planning things in advance, and not having to think about it each and every day when it's actually time to post something. It also really helps to pick platforms that work for your energy, for the kind of person that you are, and pick marketing activities that energize you rather than drain you. So, when it comes to Notion, I personally have found it to be an amazing tool to plan for my art business. I do my yearly planning on Notion every single year, and I have made the mistake of overcomplicating my Notion systems in the past. I've tried to make it extremely dynamic with a lot of moving parts and a lot of different modules that were supposed to work together. But what ended up happening is that I got overwhelmed with all of that, and there was just way too much friction. when there's way too much friction with your system, you're going to end up abandoning it. This is what has happened to me multiple times, which is why I found it really important to come up with a system that is simple and very easy for me to follow through on a daily basis. As a platform, Notion is great because it's very customizable, which again is great for artists because we do like things to be pretty. So I love that about Notion, and everything can be really well organized. It's also really flexible. So as your needs change for your art or for your business, it's very easy for you to adapt and change your systems as you go. And the basic version of Notion is, of course, free to use. I'm leaving the link to it in the description. Just so you know, this is not an affiliate link and this is not sponsored by Notion in any way. I've been using it for 3 years. I've made a lot of mistakes with it. And today I want to show you my system that I have developed, which is just way more simple and streamlined. So I've created a simple Notion system for creative entrepreneurs, and I call it the Aligned Artist Year Planner. This is the template version of this, but this is exactly what I use for my creative business as well. I've created these sections here for your business, your content, and your life so that you can keep those three things separate. And this template isn't just for planning your year and your goals, but it also helps you plan out your branding, your content, and just neatly refer to everything in one place. The layout is clean, simple, and extremely easy to navigate. In case you're interested, I have this template available for purchase, and the link is in the description. It's on a discount right now as well. But let me just show you what it's about. In the business section, you can plan out all of your branding. I've also given you all these prompts here to help you answer each of these questions and fill out each of these sections. Then we have the goals and the business plan for the year. Again, you can fill out all of these sections. You can divide your goals up by quarter, which is very helpful. I have an entire Skillshare class where I go over this particular dashboard and teach you how to fill it out. If you're interested to learn more through that class, the link to that is also in the description. Then there's the space for you to conduct a half-year business review. So you can do this once in the middle of the year and then again at the end of the year. Again, I've given you all of these prompts, so it becomes very simple for you to actually conduct this review for yourself. All you need to do is think about everything that's happened in your business and answer these questions, and that's going to help you take decisions going forward. Then we have the content strategy. Again, there's a guide provided here for you to understand how to answer each of these sections. And once you do answer all of these sections, you'll have a clear plan for you to go ahead with creating your content, and you can pick content streams that work for you. For me personally, these are the platforms I tend to use. So I've created these as sections here, and they also come with videos embedded on the topic. So that's going to be useful for you to refer to. If you use a different content platform, you can just duplicate any of these pages and you can create a separate page for the content platform that you use. Then we have this section for your dreams. This is inspired by a template created by the YouTuber Ali Abdal because I found it to be really useful and it's something I've been using for 2 or 3 years ever since he put it out. I've customized it to what I found particularly helpful, and that's what comes within this template. So you can use this example here to help guide how you're filling out this for yourself, and you can just duplicate this and create multiple dreams for your year. And then we have my life in 5 years. So again, I've provided a guide on how you could fill out that section. Then I have a projects database here, and you can see your lineup of projects. You can sort it by date or however you want to. And then you have a launch calendar so that you can see what projects are coming up by date. And we also have a list format here. Then we have a content calendar where you can create a new piece of content. You can decide which platform it's for, what date it would go out on, and what the status currently is. You can also fill out your caption or other details about the post here. So everything's just there, ready to go when you need it. And like I mentioned, this is exactly what I use for myself as well. You can see my own version of it here, which I use for my own art business. I have this section for my brand. I have the goals and business plan section here where I filled out all my quarterly goals. And I love that this is really flexible and I can move things around if I need to. I don't need something to be locked in just because I filled it in there. And I track my metrics over here. I also have the master content calendar and my launch calendar here. So the template that I've created for you is completely inspired by what I use and what I have found practical for my own art business. It is essentially 3 years of my own trial and error packaged into one simple system. And like I said, it's on discount right now. It's going to be at $18, but currently it's at $9 for this entire template. That's 50% off. So I would recommend grabbing that while it lasts. Even if you're completely new to Notion, don't worry because I'm going to provide an explainer video about the basics of Notion and how to use it. I'm also going to provide an explainer video on how to use this particular template. So head to the link in the description to grab that right now. If you want to watch more of my videos on how I plan for my art business and the entire business side of art, I'd recommend checking out this playlist right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.